everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jennifer, and today is another episode of Nailed It. And if you're not familiar with the Nailed It series, it's a series that Lexi Zhang came up with a while ago. Basically, we do a look every 2 weeks. We take an image, a photograph, a video, something that's going to inspire us, and then a number of different content creators jump on board and either try to imitate or even replicate the image, the photo, or they use it as an inspiration. And today I'm going to be using this as an inspiration. This is a look from Nikki Makeup, who I believe works for Glamour UK. She's a beauty columnist. And the look is with Kira Jones. She's a model, stunningly beautiful woman, as always. And it has, in the caption on Instagram, 70s feels. If you take a look at her look, it is, I'm looking at my phone while I talk to you guys, it is very purple. It is very lilac. The rest of her face is very sheer. You can see the freckles on her nose and the freckles on her forehead. So we're gonna use a very sheer, neutral, glowy foundation. She definitely has blush on, almost as a contour, and some highlight, and then some very neutral peachy lips. And she also has what I would consider like soap brows. So we're gonna try the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze today. I don't know how well that's gonna work, but we're gonna try it. And I did my hair a little bit like hers, just with the, you know, little waves right in the front and mostly straight. Okay, and I'm not blonde, so, or as tan as she is. So let's pull the hair back first. First step, I do have some powder on my brows because, you know, if I just did brow freeze, frankly, it won't work because my brows are too sparse. And I've picked out, I think, most of the products that we're going to use today. So first, I'm going to put on my Guerlain watery oil. I am wearing a hoodie because just felt comfortable and it's the weekend. All right. I really like this watery oil. I mean, I know I've said that before, but I really am enjoying it. It's just nice. Feels nice, smells nice. I like it. I'm gonna take the Tom Ford primer, put that on, because I'm definitely gonna need a primer for this look. I mean, I've been trying to use the primer in general because it creates a good barrier and a smooth surface for my eyelids, which I do like. And I've said this ad nauseum, I know, but if you've never watched my channel before, or maybe you missed it, this is a great primer for those of you who are like me, who are older, looking for something that's good to alleviate texture, because it creates a nice smooth platform, but it's not a longevity primer. It's just not. So I'm going to use the Givenchy Prisme Libre Skin Caring Glow Foundation. I have this in 2C180? Yeah, 2C180. It's a beautiful foundation. I really like this, but it is a light coverage foundation. It doesn't have a ton of coverage, which I think is perfect for this look. And, you know, to be honest, kind of perfect for me in general. I don't like a full coverage foundation. It doesn't really work for my skin. My skin is more mature, and I feel like, and this isn't always true, but I think as you get older, full coverage foundations just, you know, settle into lines and frankly make me look older. I'm sure that's not the case for everybody. You know, it really does depend on your skin. But for me, yeah, I'm not a full coverage kind of gal. But, you know, again, whatever works for you guys. I mean, whatever you like. I'm going to put a little bit more just in this area here where my rosacea is. But yeah, I really like this foundation. I think it's really pretty. It gives a really nice finish. It does look glowy. And yeah, I really like it. Like I said, it's not full coverage at all. It's, I guess I would call it almost like a tinted moisturizer to light. Like it's a sheer foundation on me. At least that's how it looks. But I'm really liking it. I think it looks really pretty. I like the shade match for me. I'm so glad that I didn't go with the really super light shade. And you know, somebody mentioned in my comments, and I'm so sorry. I will tell you guys, I wanted to say this before. As the channel is growing, I get a lot more comments, and I want to say thank you so much for all those comments. But because I'm only doing this YouTube part-time and I work like 60 hours a week, I know it's not funny. It's just like, why? It's becoming harder and harder for me to get back to everybody. And I just want everyone to know, I really do appreciate all the comments and all the people who write to me. And I will, I keep trying to get back to as many people as possible, but sometimes it's just, I can't. And so this person mentioned in the comments that one of my videos where I was saying how it's better that I don't go all the way to the lightest shade and I need to go towards light instead of fair. And she made a really good comment is, you know, I'm almost, well, I'll be 49 in May. So when I was younger and buying foundation, the spectrum of shades was much smaller. So the lightest foundation was probably a better match for me because they didn't have really, really light shades and really, really deep shades. They had like the short little, you know, and although there are some brands that are still there, who knows why, a lot of brands, many brands have expanded to a much broader spectrum. So there are lighter shades, there are deeper shades, there are many different undertones. So actually where I've always fallen is light, not necessarily fair, but those shades, you know, didn't exist. So that back in the day when I was buying the lightest shade probably made sense. Whereas now if I'm buying from a company that has a more a diverse, a wider, you know, spectrum, I can get the light shade and not the fair shade. Okay, so yeah, I think that looks great. You can see, like, and when I get you close, you'll see, like, you can see the skin imperfections, which I think is the point of this look, because it's a 70s kind of vibe. In the 70s, there was sort of a, you know, you could see the freckles, you could see the skin. It was glowy, but there was a lot to do with the eyes. I'm not going to do false lashes, but other than that. All right, so let's pull out the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wax. I have not used this before, so this should be fun. Okay. I'm just pulling up the picture again. All right. Yeah, she's definitely got like pronounced brows. Okay. So I think you just, yeah, okay. Like, what do I do with it? Yeah, it's definitely a wax. Okay, so I've got my little spoolie. I guess we just, you know, we just go in. And I'll kind of like put it everywhere and then, yeah, okay, well that works. Oh, interesting. Okay. I'll have to tamper down my brows a little because they're a little long, but we can do that afterwards. Wow, well, that worked. Jeez. If you were wondering if the product worked, guys, the product works. Yeah, okay. Wow. You want to be careful, I think, not to get too much product on here, but, which I may have done, but you know. It's my first attempt, so yeah, that definitely works. Okay, then we'll kind of press, and I'll, like I said, I'll tamp the long hairs down in a minute. But first, let's get the look. Wow. That's extreme. Okay. Well, it definitely works, guys. If you were wondering about the brow wax, there is no question that that works. No question. I'm gonna let it dry a little bit. I'm gonna fix it a little bit. We'll come back on screen and then I'll show you what I'm gonna do. All I did is went in with a Q-tip and kind of like, I just literally went like this to kind of get them to go down a little bit. I would want like, and I think I will go back in with like a powder. Do I have any powders? I don't even think I have any powders anymore. And kind of like draw in some hairs, because what this does is it pushes all of them up, which is great if you have already thick brows. But like I said, I've tweezed off half my brows in the 90s. So, you know, it's kind of sparse looking. That's what I don't like about it. I'd have to either draw in, and I wonder if I could go in with a pen over this. Like, I don't know if the Gucci would work. Let's see. Let's see if it does. Because it's so waxy, would it allow me to, you know, would it work over the wax? Yeah, see, it doesn't work. That's the problem. Like, it doesn't deposit. I have a NYX product that is a waxier. This is the Full and Fluff in Auburn. And this is just the, you know, like the pencil side of it. And it's waxier. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that works a little better, but still, the problem I have is the same problem I have with all of these brow products. Unless you have full brows, I feel like it, you know, it's like sparse. Maybe if I use less wax next time, we'll have to see. I have to play around with it some more. That looks better though. Yeah, I think the trick is using less wax, because if you use too much wax, then it gets like stiff, like too stiff, you know what I mean? And then maybe going back in with like powder, maybe that's the way to do it, which I don't currently have, because trying to draw over the wax is like impossible. But that looks okay. I mean, she's got more of this like fluffy kind of thing going, so that's better. Okay, fluffy brows, sort of. All right, so her blush, she kind of has it like almost a contour. She's using her blush as almost a contour. And I'm gonna use, I think, some cream blush, because I think it's a very glowy blush. Oh, no, I could use, I know what I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna use the Golden Rose blush by Sicily. This is the blush that I mentioned that I didn't really like at first, because I used it with the Sicily shimmer that comes in the same new formula, and I didn't like it with the shimmer. But with the by itself, it's a gorgeous like highlighty blush. So this might stand in for the highlight and the blush. So she has very high cheekbones. My cheekbones are high, but not as high as hers. But she does look like she used it almost as a contour. So let's do that. And you can absolutely use blush as a contour, guys. Like in the 80s, that's all we did. It was not, there was no such thing as a contour. It was all blush. All blush, all the time. I'm using the Sonia G Classic Cheek Brush, by the way. For some reason lately, I've really wanted to buy like a new powder brush. I have the La Mer one, and I do really like that brush, but I was thinking about getting a natural hair one, and the one I want, the KZ01, is like, you can't get it right now. You might not ever be able to get it. So there's like this PO8 brush that Chikuhodo makes that's like $400. I'm trying to talk myself out of that. Somebody help me. Okay. So yeah, I think that's glowy, highlighty, blush, contour at the same time. What do you think? She might even have like a little more color like right in there. I mean, she's warmer toned than I am, but I like that. Ooh, okay, cool. All right, so we have foundation down, blush down, brows done, eyes and lips to do. Okay, so we've got complexion down, eyebrows done, sort of. Best I can. All right, so the look on the eyes. I mean, there's like several shades here. I can see definitely, I think I see 4 shades, but who knows? So I pulled out a bunch of palettes. I don't have a lot of purple. I mean, we've had this conversation. Again, if you've never watched my channel before, again, hi. But secondly, I don't, like, purple's not really my thing. These are very much lilac, but I do have some. So first is the Dior Plum Tulle, which is like a favorite of mine, like literally of all palettes ever. And that, like that middle shade might work for one of the shades. Then I have Daydream from Tom Ford. Let me show you Daydream. This is Daydream. I think that'll probably work the best if I were to pick. Probably Daydream. Maybe that's the one I'll use. And then I have a quad from Tom Ford that I don't think exists anymore. It's called Violet Dusk, which is a really pretty, really beautiful, and that was actually a favorite of mine back in the day. And then I also have the BH Cosmetics Blueberry Muffin, which I've actually used for another Nailed It when I did the hydrangeas, and there's some purples in here that might work. Hold on, I hear Remi. So I'm gonna put him over on one of his beds. Hi, we wanna say hi to everyone first? Did you know I was filming and you wanted to say hi? Say hi. You don't know where the camera is, do you? Okay, you wanna sit with mommy? Okay. Okay, I'm back. There's food downstairs, so I thought Remi would stay, but obviously not. All right, so I think I'll use Daydream, Tom Ford Daydream, and then I can pull from Violet Dusk or the Dior palette or whatever palette if I feel like I need anything. So the shade that's underneath is like this pinkish shade. That's the shade I don't think I have. Guys, I have so many palettes that I forgot about Natasha Denona. How I forgot about Natasha Denona, I do not know. And of course, Pat McGrath. Natasha Denona's the Mini Love palette. I have that. And I have the Love palette, which actually has great shades in here for that. So my brain is toast. Okay, so again, I'm using this as inspiration. I'm not gonna do exactly what she has, but I'm gonna take Pure Love from the Love palette. It's this shade right in the middle. I will show you the shade and put that down first. That's gonna be my quote transition shade. Not really a transition shade, but you get the idea. Yeah, it's like she has it everywhere. Okay. So, oh, that's perfect. I hope everybody has been enjoying the month of March. I am very happy. I hate daylight savings for like how confused I always feel it's been almost 2 weeks and I still feel a little off, but I hate daylight savings for that. But I love daylight savings for the fact that it's, you know, still bright out at 6 o'clock and getting closer to 7 o'clock. Because it's just, you know, you feel like you have so much more time. Now I know the amount of time you have is still exactly the same, but it's just, you know, it's light out. So somehow your brain is like, oh, I have more day, you know? It just feels different. It feels like you have more time. Or at least I feel that way. Maybe no one else feels that way, except for me. But I love that. I love that. And we're starting to get some warm weather. Now, I'm in Massachusetts, so warm weather to me might not be warm weather to you, but to me, it's pretty good. It's been in the 60s. We've had 50s, like constant. There's gonna be a couple of days coming up that are gonna be cooler, but again, you know, I can take that, like, as long as, you know, you mix in some like warm days, it's totally fine. All right, so I'm gonna take this shade from Daydream, Tom Ford. We're gonna see if that works. Yeah, that'll work. It's like a violet. And go over that. Yeah, I just want a very like springy, lilac-y kind of shade. An overall look, you know? Doesn't have to be exactly like hers, but I feel like this is perfect for the beginning of spring to celebrate all my allergies and the fact that it's nice out. It also feels like, you know, there's more like freedom to do things because, again, I am not really comfortable. I mean, I'll go in places, but I still have to wear, you know, I obviously you wear a mask if you have to go inside. And so it's nice to be able to be outside without a mask, as long as you're, you know, far enough away from folks. And I like that, you know, and it's been so cold that you don't really feel comfortable doing that because you're just like, it's freezing. I know there's a lot of like stuff out here. Don't worry, I'll clean that up at the end. Okay, so we've got like 2 shades. I think that looks good, kind of what I'm looking for. And then I want to go in with like a really purpley shade. Maybe I'll use this one from, I always forget the name of this. Violet Dusk. Yeah, that'll work. This is Violet Dusk shade I'm using. This one, it's this one here. And let's go in with my KZ07 brush. This is the brush I want, but in the number 1. The number 1 is a like a big powder brush. As I mentioned, I know I have the La Mer brush. I have some K series. I think I have the K1. No, Z series, excuse me, Z series. I have the Z1 brush, which is super soft, and I do like that brush, but I'm looking for something like really big, and it's hard to find. Like the La Mer brush is huge, and I love that. So I want a natural hairbrush that's that big, and there just doesn't seem to be a lot of them. Oh yeah, definitely getting the lavender kind of vibe here. Yes, it's definitely gonna be a little outside my comfort zone, but that is the point of the Nailed It series. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with something a little bit deeper in the crease. A little bit more specific here. Let's see what shade I wanna use. I can use this one from Daydream or this one from Violet Dusk. I think I'll use the one from Violet Dusk. It's a little less blue. And I'm using the FO7. And I'm just going in to like deepen the crease. Yeah, that's good. All right, so let's buff that out a little bit on the top before we put in the lighter shades on top. And again, I'll clean up the stuff under the eye in a minute. Probably would have made sense for me to do the eye look first, but it's just never really been my process. I don't know why, but I'm just on an under eye. I don't know, it's just never been something I do first. All right, so I'm gonna take the lightest shade from Daydream. Might as well keep using my finger, even though it's gonna get all over my brows, but that's fine. Why not? Go in and, okay. Now let's take inner corner brush, and I'm gonna use Blind from the Love palette. It's a very silvery shade. This is Blind. Really nice shade. Great silver. All right, let's buff that in a little bit. Okay, let me clean up the under eye a little bit here. Okay, let's take the shade. I'm gonna take the really bright purple shade from Violet Dusk. What I really love about the Nailed It series is that I get to play with palettes that I don't normally pull out. Like, I don't pull out this one because it doesn't exist anymore. And you know, I have started pulling out ones that are discontinued a little bit more so you guys can see them. But I do feel bad pulling out too many products where you can't get them, because then I'm just like, well, it's kind of a crappy thing to do. And I went in with this shade, it's like lavender shade from Daydream. Just kind of adding a little bit of shimmer to the under eye part. All right, kind of putting that, focusing that on the outer portion here, and I will buff it in. I don't have, like I said, I'm not doing false lashes, so. All right. That is a very lilac-y look. I think it will come together when I put the lashes on. I think I need a little bit more light on the eyes though. Let me look here. Yeah, I see more light on her eyes. All right, so what I'm gonna take, yeah, I think that's better. This is the Blind this is what I use for inner corner. I'm just gonna put more of that like on the lid because I feel like, and then I'm gonna take a little bit of a purple shade and go over it because I feel like she has more of that like lightness. Again, it's just I'm just using it as a inspiration, but I still feel like I'd like more lightness there. And I'm going over it with the lavender shade from Daydream. Daydream is a great palette. I mean, like I said, I'm not a really big purple person, but I do like Daydream. Okay. Let me bring you in. Do I have a white eyeliner? I have this one from NARS. All right, let's try this one. Because I feel like she has like a little bit of white liner. Okay. All right. Let me bring you in close so you can see. Then we'll do mascara. Fluffy brows. Lilac look. Okay. Curl in the lashes. And then wispy mascara, and then we'll move to lips. Okay guys, we are back. Mascara makes all the difference in my opinion. I think it looks so over the top, but I really like it. It's fun. It's just a fun spring look. So I do really like it. Let me bring you in close so you can see it with mascara, and then we will move to lips with the mascara. Nice wispy, try to make a nice wispy look. Kind of matches hers, I think, sort of. Okay, so all that's left is lipstick. And what I thought is I'd pull out a color that I actually haven't used in a while. This is Hepburn Honey by Charlotte Tilbury. And so she has on, like, to me, like a peachy nude kind of lipstick. Doesn't look like there's liner, so let's use this one. If you haven't seen Hepburn Honey, it's a really pretty shade. I really like this one. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I think the Hepburn Honey is like perfect. Hepburn Honey on me is a very good neutral. It's kind of a peachy neutral. It doesn't distract from the the eye look. Keeps it pretty simple, you know, just kind of a nice peachy nude. I've actually used up a lot of it. This is probably the color I've used more than any other from Charlotte Tilbury, believe it or not. You can see there's a lot of it used. And I really like the shade. I think it's just really pretty. So that is my attempt, pull the hair forward here, to create a nailed it, I guess, homage to this sort of lilac-y 70s kind of vibe. So I'm actually gonna bring you out a little further so you can get like sort of the whole thing. I'll try to mimic her look a little bit before we sign off. Okay, so she kind of has a quarter turn, her mouth's a little bit open, and there you go. Close? Somewhat close? Yeah, I actually like it. I think it's fun. I mean, if I was gonna do just a purple look, I probably would do a little bit less than this, but I figured if I was gonna do a lilac look, why not like really go for it and do something, you know, more, a little over the top, something fun. The face, like I said, I kept it really neutral because she just has like a nice glowy face, and the Givenchy Prisma Libre foundation I think is a great foundation for that. I think it's like very glowy and just kind of natural. It's relatively sheer. The Sisley blush is perfect. The Golden Rose, I think it's Golden Rose, I think is perfect for this look because, you know, it's the highlight and blush at the same time, which is what I think this look needs. I mean, she might have a little bit more glow through here and maybe a little bit through here, but you know, I'm okay with not adding that. And then the eye look, I mean, we went very lilac-y, very purple, and a nice neutral peachy lip. So I think that's it. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It's always fun to do these nailed its. One, it's great to work with all these other great content creators. You know, we chat a little bit before and after the videos just to decide on a look and, you know, just to catch up with one another, which is great. And it's also fun just to do something totally creative and pull out all these palettes that I don't normally pull out. So yeah, it's just fun. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you've come over from one of the other channels that I mentioned, great to have you here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll consider subscribing. And if you haven't gone out over to any of the other channels, please check them out. Seriously, there's so many different ways to interpret these looks that people do. It's great to see the diversity. So thanks so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you in another video really soon.